The word anime actually tells us so much about the history of the English language. The English word anime, in reference to primarily Japanese animation, comes from the Japanese word anime. But that word actually comes from the English word animation. So now in English we have two words that came from the same word, but they mean something a little different. This is an example of what we call doublets, when two different words share the same etymological root. And English has so many doublets. They're seriously everywhere you look, and the funny thing about these doublets is that they illustrate the history of the English language without you even really realizing it. There's a lot of pairs of English words where one word is of Germanic origin, so it evolved all the way through Old English, and the other word is of Romance origin, so it was incorporated into English, usually through French or as a learned borrowing from Latin. Now, because of the history of the English language, oftentimes the Germanic words will be less fancy and the Romance words will be more fancy. But because Germanic and Romance are both branches of the same larger language family, those words end up sharing a common origin. So that's why there's a difference between know and cognition, or cow and beef, or horse and car. No, legitimately, those come from the same word. Isn't that cool? Now, this phenomenon is hardly exclusive to English. Funny enough, we were talking about Japanese earlier, and it has tons of examples of its own. There's a lot of kanji that have different pronunciations or different readings because they were loaned into Japanese from Chinese at different stages in history. Furthermore, those pronunciations would often be coming from different parts of China that spoke different languages, and it's all just so deliciously interesting. This also happens a lot in Hindi, where you'll have words that evolved out of Sanskrit, and then words that were loaned directly from Sanskrit later on. And also in Spanish, where the same thing happens, but with Latin instead of Sanskrit. Anyway, suffice to say, etymology is really cool. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if there's any other examples you can think of that you wished I had talked about. For the time being, thanks for watching, and have an exquisite rest of your day.